Hey, what's up, YouTube channel? It's Taurus down there again, y'all. And this is that Go Hard or Go Home channel. Okay, y'all. Welcome to why I'm not married, and I advise other men against it. Okay. Um, if you've been watching me for any amount of time now, you know that I don't really advise for guys to get married. I kind of advise for guys to stay single and kind of live their life and build themselves up and become, more valuable as people. To be on that purpose, as if you want to call it that, right? But I wanted to make this video right here because one of the main questions I've been asked a lot since I kind of started this channel, and mostly by women, is, well, if you're not married, how can you say these type of things? Okay, well, let me make a few points before we get too far into this too. I have been married before. That's number one. And number two, I'm not telling people to just say not get married. I'm more saying make sure you get married in a situation that's good for you. Okay? And that can be hard these days because of some things that have happened over the years between men and women, which I'm going to discuss today here. Okay? So if you ever, guys, if you ever watch one of those Deadpool movies, just a little joke here. You ever watch one of those Deadpool movies, you know that the movie starts out and he says, in order for me to get you to this point, I got to take you way back here. Well, that's what I'm about to do right now. All right. In order to get to the point of all of this, I'm going to take y'all way back to the 80s and 90s when I was growing up and I saw things and how I see things, and they are as according to then and today. Okay. So, one of the first things I wanted to bring up in this type of situation right here, in this thing where I go back to the 80s, is a lot of guys in this whole manosphere and red pill thing have always talked about women's revolution and stuff like that, but I don't think a lot of them actually lived through it. I did. Okay. I saw this change and I watched it happen in real time. I mean, from going to the club one weekend and everybody's out there dancing, having a good time, to slowly getting to the point of, like, when you went to clubs and bars, the guys are standing over the corner like this, and the women all got a scowl on their face. All right, so all those things kind of transitioned and conspired over some time. All right, what I think was the root cause of this, I don't know what it actually is that well, I do know what I saw. I don't know exactly what caused it. I do know what I saw. Women started to become braggarts. This thing that people are saying, like, with masculine energy, stuff like that. I can translate that directly to what it is. Women started becoming braggarts. They wasn't what they used to be no more. The job thing didn't really change nothing, guys, because women already had jobs. They had jobs. I've always known women to work. In my whole life, my mom worked. So it wasn't the job thing. The job thing didn't cause the problem. It's not causing it now. What it is overly being proud of having a job when having a job is just being an adult. And I think that's what ruined women. They started, I got my own job, I got my own money. Okay, you're an adult. And these things that used to come out of women's mouths before. That's why I say I got to take you all the way back here. Start showing you where it started happening. These things didn't used to come out of women's mouths. They did the regular stuff, like if y'all went on dates and stuff like that, they tried to cook for you. They tried to show you that they was a woman. Now she had a job and stuff, that was icing on the cake. And that's why relationships worked out better back then, because women did their part. Okay. Uh, a lot of guys, they're looking at all this stuff on, like I say, these channels, Eight at the Table, Fresh and Fit, even Kevin Samuels, okay, even that kind of thing, and they're looking at the backlash that women give back for those things. But let me tell y'all something like this. Like I said, we're going back to the 80s here, because guys thought that guys also think that men didn't have any reason, any way of talking back or any type of form to speak on. But we always have. We just don't. Real men don't, because the result you're going to get is exactly what you're getting right now. From A to the Table, from Fresh and Fit, whatever channel, all that stuff like that. When we're going to sit down and have this conversation with women, all they're going to do is call you sassy. That's it. That's why you're getting called sassy. And I agree with them. It is sassy because guys don't need to be even talking to you. Here's the thing. One thing about this is if you express your feelings and what you really think to women, they will deem you as weak. I don't care what they're telling you. You should be seeing that now. The result should be evident. Okay? Even though I would get pushback from some guys about stuff like this, the result should be evident. You should see from watching Fresh and Fit, you should see from having watched Kevin Samuels, that they don't care what you think, which has become one of the issues. Like I said, we had to go back to the 80s. It wasn't like that. People cared about, everybody cared. Everybody cared about who was who and not treating people like crap. All right? For some reason, women got this thing with this job stuff and they started being like, being an adult and paying their own bills was, I don't know, extraordinary. I would say extraordinary. They started acting like that was extraordinary, and that's not really anything. All right, but that's the basis of me not being married, and it's why I kind of tell other guys, hey, don't do it, or wait until you find somebody that is not acting like this. This junk I just got done explaining, you got to find somebody that's not acting like that. And then I'm not saying it's a bad thing to get married. I'm not saying that. None of that stuff. What I'm saying is that you ain't gonna be happy unless you find somebody that's not acting like I just got done explaining. Okay? Now, let's roll on. You had the 80s and such, where you had these talk shows and everything, and guys think they was all women talk shows, and it wasn't. Okay, you had the Montel Williams show, you had Donahue, Geraldo, you had a lot of stuff. Those were guys. Okay, so there was a forum for guys to go and talk about this stuff, but they just didn't. Because, like I just got done explaining, when you explain this junk to women, they're going to call you sassy. That's why, like on my channel right now, I'm putting this out because mostly guys are going to see this. Women have asked me this question about why you say this about marriage, but I know it's best to not explain it to them because they would just call me sassy. That's it. I'm telling guys, you need to wait. You need to make sure that you find somebody that knows her role so that you can be happy. Y'all can have a better relationship. Your marriage got a good chance of lasting, as opposed to this junk that you got now with just 80-90% doggone divorce rate and stuff like that. But the cause of it is this thing that I'm telling you about. I said back, like I got telling y'all back in the 80s, something like that. Junk was different. When you just went outside, just being around people and being around women was different. It's also different when you go overseas. That's why y'all got this so-called passport bro movement and stuff like happening now. But that's been going on. It's just that people are getting a better look at it because it's on the internet. And everybody knows now. Just like this right here. Things like OnlyFans and stuff like that would have been taboo back in the 80s. That's why I'm talking about that. Because you wouldn't have known about that thing. That's something that people would have did in the dark. OnlyFans, all this stuff like that. Strip clubs, back in the day, people didn't want you didn't want people to know that you was going this type of thing. You didn't publicly do this kind of stuff because it was considered taboo. But shoot, you want to look at some booty, you can just go on Facebook now, TikTok. You don't got to do OnlyFans. You can go on any one of them, and somebody gonna be shaking their ass on there. That's on Facebook. Which that's, So I started advising guys you might need to wait because I seen a big change in women and I lived through that change. I lived through it. I watched them go from cooking, cleaning, take care of the house, know they role, to well, I got my own job and I'm this and that, and this and that, and it I understand the turn off, but it's from a different. I understand it from a different point of view because I actually saw women be women. I saw that. I saw it. It's the only reason I haven't given up on marriage totally. I advise against it. I advise waiting till you find somebody that knows what she's doing or that playing a certain role. But the only reason I'm not that's why Fresh and Fit is bitter. Fresh and Fit, the guys on the 80 table, all the shit, you know what I'm saying? The white guys I see on whatever channel, you know, Roll Tomas and them, all these red pill, they're bitter because these guys are mostly younger. They didn't get to see women be women, but I did. It's the one reason I made my channel to be able to talk and put some stuff out there, speak some light into this, that it's not all bad and it's not all bitterness, and it shouldn't be. You just have to find a woman that's being a woman. I've seen women be women. But like I said, somewhere along this line, being a regular adult and paying your bills became some kind of superhero power for them, and I don't know how that exists. Because if you're a regular guy with a regular job, you don't mean anything to them. So they should understand that a person with a job paying their own bills, that really don't mean shit. I mean, they're the ones making that rule, but you see, and that's what I'm trying to tell y'all guys. It's one reason why I don't discuss it with women. Because you see right now, it could be this could become a whole total mindfuck. I could sit here and talk for 30 minutes about this and never get nowhere. But what I wanted to do was kind of explain like some of the reasons why I say what I say on this channel. It doesn't have to do anything with hating women or thinking they're bad. No, I think that every guy needs a woman in his life. I think that. However, she needs to be somebody who don't think that having her own job and having some, not even having some money, because having a job is not having money, y'all. I hate to say that because people get upset when you say things, but it's not. That's just being able to pay your bills. Okay, having money means you ain't got to do that, or somebody work for you. We get into all that junk later. But paying your own bills, being an adult, should have never become a doggone fighting point, and that's what I saw. Okay, that's what I saw. Somehow, and it became about I'm this, and it's like, yeah, I expect for you to be paying your bills. I expect for you to have a job because this is what adults do. Okay, I only really talk to women, and women. When I do talk to women, it's based on different things. You ain't got no job and all that stuff. You finna get treated a certain type of way because you're not even being an adult. You do got a job and stuff. I'm gonna treat you this kind of way because you're at least being an adult. But I don't want to go too far down the rabbit hole trying to figure out what women are thinking, because you can't do that. And I keep telling guys that on this channel, you ain't never gonna figure out what they think or what they want. What you gotta do is find somebody that's willing to play the game, that knows where her role is and knows that her having a job and stuff don't just make that's not that's being an adult. Before we get out of here, I'm gonna try to like really look at that point. The having a job thing don't make you no better than nobody else. I don't know what women came up with that one at. They're also saying that the majority of them are making way more money or doing this and that, and that's just not true, because here's the reason why it's not true. They can't be making more money than men, because if you count the men that they want, those guys are gonna have more money than them. So you're not making more money. I mean, like, guys, this junk could turn into a doggone mind fuck. The reason why I don't suggest marriage to guys is because most women don't know their role these days, or they think that being a, I got a job, so that makes me superior to you, not equal. They're not acting like that's equal. They're acting like that makes them superior, and it doesn't. It just makes you a better helper. It means that I don't have to take care of you because you got your own stuff. For some reason, that has caused a big rift in this thing with guys and women, and I don't see that going back. That, like I just got done explaining about watching the different shows and stuff like that on YouTube. You know, the result they're getting is exactly what I would expect. I would anyway. I don't, because I read comments and see several other people saying, "Why this going on? Why that?" Because this is how women act. Women have in the Western world. Because I wouldn't say this about when you go overseas and stuff. That's why that I just got done saying that passport thing is why it's happening. Because for some reason, women in other countries didn't give up traditional values. So I guess at the end of this, that's exactly what I would have to say. Women in the Western world have given up traditional values. And not just that. For some reason, they started thinking that having a job and stuff like that made them be somebody bigger than what they were, and it doesn't. It doesn't even do that for the man. It doesn't do that for him either. If you got into this, if you got into this argument right here with the woman, eventually she would tell you that your job ain't shit. They're telling you that now. They're telling you that now because they're acting like that. They're acting their way of doing is that's what's telling you. They started saying this stuff in people's face a long time ago, and that didn't used to happen. You date a woman back in the day, that junk wasn't about, oh, she got a job, she got this and all that. She was coming there to be a woman in your house and do the woman things. That's why those relationships lasted longer. Women could have jobs before and it didn't affect the relationship. And then somehow that stuff started happening. And then over the years it came to, so me, what I decided to do was, okay, sit in the background and wait and see. Some of these women might not think this way. Some of them have a different idea of it. Those are kind of sometimes hard to find. Majority of what you getting these days is women that's like, well, I got a job, so this and that and this and that. And it's like, and that is gonna turn guys off. It just is what it is on that one. But the thing I wanted to get across with this video was that I'm not sitting there just being bitter about that. Because I advocate against being bitter. I definitely advocate against that. You're gonna have to know that women got these quirks. It's just like some women know that guys got quirks. They know that, okay, guys this way. Some of that junk, they just let it go up under the bridge like water. And that's what makes them easier for them to deal with men. And guys got to be that way too. You got to know that this junk right here exists. That's why my channel exists. That's why I ain't on here every day like everybody else. I don't got content every day because I'm not going to keep talking about that same thing every day, all day. I'm going to find the important parts of it like this, and then I'm going to explain them, and then I'm out. So women have made a very drastic change in themselves. They're saying guys don't want to do this. They don't want to provide. They don't want to do this. Some of this is true, but it's in response to this other thing because these guys are not going to get what they want, and they're starting to see that. Well, they're starting to see it because nobody's told them that. I could have told you that from the beginning. From these type of women, you're not going to get what you want. You're not going to get nothing's good in this for you. I hear the guys saying it, and they're right. Took them a few knocks on the school of hard knocks, but they're right. You won't get what you want. You won't get you just gonna be. It's gonna be a one-sided thing. It's gonna be you giving, and this other person is never gonna give anything back to you. Not money-wise, because money ain't what you worried about as guys. This other person can't play their role, and that has become the issue. And it's mostly the issue in Western American, Western world, American type things. Like I said, you got the passport bro thing. That tends to work out, but that's because in other places, women really haven't lost tradition. So I kind of want to put that one out there today. The reason why I tell guys to wait or I don't really advocate for marriage like that is because I know that the crop of women has become bad. And that they're still doing everything else. You still can get everything else to go on. As long as you, like I keep telling guys, as long as you got money to date, you don't have to be under pressure to get married. You don't have to. Because as long as you're somewhere around what they want, you're going to be able to be. Women outnumber men like a shitload to one. They don't look at it that way, but that is what it is. So in closing here, guys, because I don't, we'll just keep beating this. You're going to keep saying the same thing over and over if you keep talking about this, because there's only one real gut cause and reason for this. All right? Look, women have changed. And guys have to change and adapt to that. You got to find a woman that don't think that a job makes her superior, that a job makes it to where she don't got to do her woman duties at the house. And that might not be easy. In this society that you got now, it might not be easy because they back this type of junk up. They do it to each other, and you even have some men out here that are doing it to make money, because you can make money off of stuff like this. But that's going to be the problem. So what I want to advise guys today is this right here. I'm not saying don't get married. All right? I'm saying find somebody that knows what she's doing before you get married. Somebody that's not sitting there talking about, well, I got a job, so I can't do this and that. And it was, I know guys right now, they woman got a full-time job. She do all the cooking, cleaning, everything in that house still. Those are the guys I see that are happy in their marriages. Some of them, their wife got a part-time job. She working up to have her some money, help on the bills a little bit if she wants to. Because most of the time when women are doing all those things in the house and keeping the house up and stuff, a lot of guys want to pay everything. There's nothing wrong with that. So I wanted to put that answer out today. That is why I say it. You probably shouldn't get married till you find somebody that knows what she's doing, that's willing to play the doggone game. Women these days are not willing to play the game, or they want to play it with rules that are stacked against the guy. And most guys, since guys think logically, are not going to go into something where the rules are stacked against them. It's not going to happen. So for anybody that had the question of why you not married and you saying this and that, that's why. I lived through all of this stuff. I saw the change myself. I saw how things were going. And I just back on up and let's look at this a little bit more. And I tell other guys do the same thing. Pretty much it. So if you thought this was a good video, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, share. Y'all drop the comments. Let me know what y'all was thinking about this. And let's join the journey and keep talking about it and keep figuring out what's going to go next. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I don't see there being no turnaround in this in the Western world. I don't see that. Because I watched it deteriorate. In order for it to go back, women would have to, it would start with the women. It would start with them. And they ain't going to do that. I don't see them doing that. So that's been that's been it for today, y'all. This Tars Down, and this that Go Hard or Go Home channel. And that's why I don't advocate for marriage. All right. Unless you find the right person. No. and you probably won't in these times. It's probably best to stay on your purpose, get your money, make sure you can be able to date. And you might find somebody later on in life that's, hey, done come to their senses. Women won't really come to their senses in their younger years because they're getting too much attention from guys. You probably have to wait till they're around 40, damn near 50 years old. When they stop getting attention. See, like for me, I noticed that women, like way older women, start talking with some sense. So that should show y'all something, guys. Just stay on your purpose. You might have to wait till you're older to get married. But I'm not saying be against it. I'm just saying don't do it until you find somebody that's in her right mind. And I'm out of here on that one, y'all. Peace.